Welcome, Sfl League members and team owners, to the Week 2 edition of the 2017 Sfl Breakdown. Woo-hoo! I will quickly recap Week 1 before launching into the projections and expectations of Week 2. Along the way, I'll try and answer some of the questions you sent me this morning. So let's get down to business and jump right in to that Week 1 recap. The future leaders fell to Southside Squashers in Week 1, 97-84, with Squashers leading scorer, the Saxonville Jaguars, putting up 33 fantasy points. An early in-game injury to David Johnson contributed to the 13-point loss, and the future leaders' keeper is scheduled for wrist surgery and will miss most of the 2017 season. Kareem, get the money, led all scorers to open the season with a big game from its namesake. Rookie running back Kareem Hunt tallied more than 40 points. Cooks County Blues train just ran up against the buzzsaw Sunday. His 115-point total would have been enough to beat anybody else, as he had a great all-around week led by his keeper, Antonio Brown. Fuzz Bumpers fell to Abdullah Oblongata by 7 points, even though his top-scoring quarterback outplayed the leading scorer on the other side. Derek Carr scored 21 points, and Abdullah Oblongata quarterback Ben Roethlisberger put up 19. Soggy Dogs beat out Lick My Balloons Balls by a healthy 13-point margin. Mike Gillisley did all he could to keep LMB afloat, but the all-around consistency of the Soggy Dogs proved to be too much. 99-86. Charles in Charge won by a half dozen over Gypsy Danger to move to 1-0. Jordy Nelson helped make it a close one, scoring 14 for Danger, but the sophomore slump hadn't hit Dak in Dallas, and he led all scorers for days with 18 fantasy points. Charles in Charge is projected to take his first loss at the hands of the future leaders. Days will need rookie running back Christian McCaffrey to have his breakout game against the Buffalo Bills in Charlotte. Some expect the college all-star to catch and run for more than 100 yards in each category. My opinion on McCaffrey is well documented. He is too small, too young, and too light to make a real impact in the running game. And while some scat backs can catch and run for big yardage in the NFL, he doesn't have the experience nor the knowledge on how to defeat zone coverage to be that guy. For the future leaders, the unexpected bye week for Jay Ajayi and Jacquizz Rodgers is over, and those proven bruisers are ready to show everyone what 2017 is made of. Depth at the skill positions and excellence in the quarterback category. The future leaders are expected to win by 10 points and will likely get their first feel of what life without David Johnson is like. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I've been saying for a while that David Johnson works too hard. He runs too hard, and he tries too hard to finish out runs, even when the team doesn't really need that extra 1 or 2 yards. He's also overworked as a receiver. He's a great player, but Arizona has put him to the test, and the law of averages finally caught up with him. I wish this young superstar a healthy recovery and a more conservative workload in the future. Abdullah Oblongata is looking for an expected win over Lick My Balloons Balls, 113-104. DeAndre Hopkins had a respectable day in Cincinnati, catching 7 of 13 targets and scoring more than 7 fantasy points. He didn't need to do too much against the Bengals, a team who hasn't scored a touchdown since President Obama was in office. The Bengals look very agile, and they have some speed in their backfield. They will score a special teams touchdown at Lambeau Week 3. Their returner appears to be among the best I've seen all year. If their newly hired offensive coordinator can hammer home north-south speed and Andy Dalton can find his mark and be more accurate, the pieces are there for an average offensive year. In my opinion, they jumped the gun in firing their coordinator. They looked pretty good against the fired-up Texans team. Lick My Balloons Balls needs Mike Gillespie to keep playing well, because without him, his team looks pretty weak. He's been hanging on to Drew Brees for a few years, and he'll need the patron saint of productivity to visit him Week 2 if he has hopes that his hodgepodge squad will get by Abdullah Oblongata. Soggy Dogs against Blues Train is the SFL Week 2 matchup I want to watch unfold. It's projected to be close, within 2 points. Soggy Dog team ownership agrees with me. They have no superstar. This team is full of workaday, punch the clock producers. I like that. Cooks County is undoubtedly led by the most dynamic receiver in the AFC. Antonio Brown is dynamic because he is streaky in a good way. If he gets a touch, he loves it, and he wants another. He can take over a game at a moment when you think a Steelers series is about to end in a punt from their own 35-yard line. One seam, one fly, and one post later, and Antonio Brown is lined up in the slot within their own red zone. He's just that good. He had 11 catches for over 180 last week. I think he gets the 2 touchdowns he should have had in Cleveland this week at home against the Vikings. Cooks County will walk away with its first Sydney Football League win over Soggy Dogs. Gypsy Danger is ready for defending champion Kareem Get the Money. Those boys in blue are expected to tally league high numbers Week 2. 123 fantasy points. And this will be the SFL Game of the Week. Marshawn Lynch. I can name a name I can now say without anger. He flipped both birds of freedom at the Titan linebackers last week. For the first time. I like Lynch. You all know I loathe Seattle. So I'm happy I can now appreciate the talent and personality of this future Hall of Fame running back. Kareem Get the Money brings us to a league address question. How are rookies running the show this season, and will it continue? Kareem Get the Money has 2 starting rookie running backs. As I said via our group text, I am ill-equipped to rank rookies. I have not studied their bodies of collegiate work, but I will attempt a glance at a team owner's question. Rookies like this, they come along now and then. Case in point, Kareem Get the Money's flex option, Ezekiel Elliott. These guys did what they needed to do in the gym while in college. They likely had their collegiate strength and conditioning coaches as favorite contacts on their cell phones. Fournette and Hunt are truly special and very young. They're energetic and gifted. Without ducking, dodging, and darting out of the way of Al's question entirely, only time will tell in terms of longevity. Last breakdown to be broken down is Southside Squashers versus Fuzz Bumpers. Fuzz is ahead in the spread, expected to win by just a few fantasy points. Squash's team looks good, very good this year, with some elite players and a few potential point producers. They need to analyze their defensive position men and maybe use some fantasy cash weekly to find those favorable defensive matchups. Fuzz Bumpers also has a few big-name ballers, and keeper AJ Green is banking on the bet that the Bengals are better than billed and will run up the numbers with the pack week 3. Green looks solid against the Texans. He was targeted 8 times, made 5 grabs for 70 yards. Andy Dalton needs to retune his accuracy. He also needs a week without J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney chasing him around. That's it. That's all, Sydney Football League members and team owners. I hope you had an exciting or relaxing Saturday and are fully prepared for a pulse-popping NFL Sunday. Joe, Aaron, Brian, Eddie, Al, Steve, Mike, and Justin, good night, good luck, and as always, go